in the small town of Maplewood. Life was usually peaceful, with quaint shops lining the streets and children playing in the parks. Residents knew each other well, and community events brought everyone together. However, one sunny afternoon, something unusual and shocking happened, causing a mix of excitement and confusion amongst the townsfolk. Evelyn was an elderly woman who lived alone in a charming little house at the edge of town. She was well known for her beautiful greenhouse, where she grew a stunning variety of flowers and vegetables. Evelyn often sold her produce at the local farmer's market, and her pottery was prized for their unique designs. Although she was in her late 70s, Evelyn had the spirit of a much younger woman. She was lively, often seen chatting with neighbors and tending to her garden. On a warm Tuesday morning, Evelyn decided to host a tea party for a few of her friends. She invited Lucy, a cheerful woman who loved to knit sweaters, and Tom, who was known for sharing stories from the past. As they gathered in her backyard, surrounded by blooming flowers, laughter filled the air. Meanwhile, across town, Officer Mike Thompson and his partner, Officer Sarah Clark, were on patrol. They received a call about suspicious activity in the area near Evelyn's garden. A resident reported that a group of people was seen entering and leaving her property, and they worried it might be a case of vandalism or something worse. Knowing how much the community cherished Evelyn, they decided to check it out. As the officers drove towards Evelyn's house, a helicopter equipped with surveillance cameras flew overhead. The police department often used it for various situations, especially if they suspected trouble. The helicopter circled over the neighborhood, capturing a view that would soon add to the drama unfolding below. Back in the garden, Evelyn served tea and scones, while Lucy shared funny stories about knitting mishaps. Tom, with his twinkling eyes, spoke about a prank he played when he was a child. The women laughed, completely unaware that trouble was brewing just a few hundred yards away. Suddenly, the sound of the helicopter's engine filled the air, causing the ladies to look up in confusion. They wondered what was happening. However, their curiosity did not distract them for long as they resumed their laughter over the delicious treats. Seconds later, Officer Thompson and Officer Clark approached Evelyn's property, determined to investigate the tip they received. As they walked up the path, they noticed the sound of laughter and the delicious smell of baked goods wafting through the air. The officers looked at each other, surprised about the cheerful atmosphere. "Excuse me, ma'am," Officer Thompson called out gently. "Is everything all right here?" Evelyn turned around, a warm smile on her face. "Oh, hello, officers. We're just having a lovely tea party. Would you like to join us?" The officers exchanged glances, taken aback by her warm invitation. They were not expecting such a pleasant scene. "Thank you, ma'am, but we have to ask some questions first," Officer Clark replied while keeping her voice calm. As they stepped closer, the helicopter above caught the moment, sending the imagery back to the command center. Officers monitoring the situation began to comment on what they saw. "Looks like a tea party, but that's not what we heard," one officer said, scratching his head. The confusion in the helicopter led to a mix of communication on the ground. Meanwhile, Evelyn explained how she had invited her friends over and shared the afternoon's joy. "We'd just been enjoying each other's company and these lovely scones," she said, gesturing to the table filled with treats. Officer Thompson, still cautious, asked, "Have you noticed anything unusual around here, Miss Evelyn? Any strangers or odd noises, perhaps?" Evelyn shook her head. "No, dear, just the sound of laughter and birds singing." "Why? Is everything okay?" Before Officer Clark could respond, the helicopter's pilot reported on the radios that they spotted movement coming from a nearby woods, suggesting a possible escape route for a suspect. This enhanced the urgency of the situation. "You may want to check the woods, officers," the helicopter pilot advised. "We can see something going on there." Concerned, Officer Thompson stepped back, looking toward the woods. "Sorry, Miss Evelyn. We need to check on something. Stay here with your friends. We'll be back shortly." They hurried towards the nearby woods, leaving Evelyn puzzled and a bit worried. Lucy and Tom looked at one another as they sipped their tea. "What do you think is happening?" Lucy asked, eyeing the forest. "I don't know, but let's keep enjoying our tea," Tom said. As the officers moved cautiously into the woods, they found an area where a small group of young people were congregating, causing a ruckus. To Officer Thompson's surprise, these people were only teenagers playing a prank, tossing around water balloons as they laughed. "Hey, what is going on here?" Officer Clark shouted, surprising them. They froze, caught in the act. They quickly explained that they were just fooling around, and it was harmless fun. The officers shook their heads, a mix of relief and frustration washing over them. "You went too far. You can't be causing this kind of panic in the neighborhood," Officer Thompson exclaimed. After managing to calm down the teens, the officers took them back towards Evelyn's house. As they returned, the helicopter flying in circles above slowly left the scene, its job done. When they got back, they found Evelyn still sitting with Lucy and Tom, cheerful as ever. "You guys are back. How was the adventure?" she asked with a sparkle in her eye. Officer Clark smiled. "Nothing dangerous, just some pranksters. But we appreciate your understanding, Miss Evelyn, and thank you for the invitation." Evelyn laughed. "You're welcome any time. Now, stay and have some scones before they're all gone." The officers chuckled, realizing that in a world often filled with chaos, moments like this tea party provided just the right touch of warmth and community. The helicopter had helped uncover the truth, and the elderly woman's kindness had brightened their day. As the sun began to set, everyone sat together, sharing stories and treats, thankful for a peaceful day in their little town of Maplewood.